Chicos, chicas, huge announcement. You see me in 111. There, everywhere is me. The Amateur's Mind by Jeremy Silman is out. It has been out for a while, but now The Amateur's Mind by Jeremy Silman and me is also out on Chessable. The video format is now available. It has been published. It has been out for now a day. Please do yourself a favor. Go ahead, check it out. But today's video is not going to be dedicated to that. I think I might make one. But today, we are going to go back to Sveshnikov land. And I'm going to show you a game that I played recently against a Polish IM. I have been almost exclusively playing the Sveshnikov lately, and I'm having a jolly good time with it, especially with the bishop g7 variation. And I wanted to show you how this game went because there was a few very cool lines in there that I wanted to go through and pick your brains about it as well. So opponent plays c3, knight e7. This is it. Knight takes, queen takes, knight c2 and f5. Generally speaking, it's very difficult to see that in advance unless you are very familiar with this variation. But believe it or not, more often than not, out of the two bishops slicing and dicing along the long diagonals, more often than not, it's the g7 bishop that turns out to be the hero of the day as per our game 2. And if you are not sure how that could come about, just watch. f5. This is the key move of the system. Black usually sacrifices a pawn. Usually the sack is voluntary. Here it's forced because bishop takes f5 is a very famous losing move to queen f3 double attack on bishop and rook, but retake was never the plan. The plan was to play bishop b7, and once again watch my bishops feasting on the diagonals. Knight e3 castles, knight d5, and that's, by the way, a slight inaccuracy. So bishop d3 is the biggest main line here, and queen h5 is also big. They tend to transpose into one another. Knight e5 was quite early, and here we have come to a very cool position that demonstrates, by the way, the dynamic features of the Sveshnikov. Black is down a pawn, and seemingly we have an absolutely dead bishop on g7. But the fact of the matter is that these are actually not quite as important factors as the fact that white is really lacking in development, and black now can strike the iron while it's hot by moves like e4 followed by b4, and that's gonna demonstrate the immense potential of the dark squared bishop. Now honestly, I don't know why, but the engine here prefers e4 over rook a c8, even though after e4 bishop e2 the engine wants rook a c8, and after rook a c8 okay, so here the engine wants rook d1, so there is a slight difference there, I suppose. But even here, after rook fd8, bishop, let's say, e2, and then after e4, either e4, but frankly, I don't see why I can't even go this, and d5. And this is very similar to the game, and this is a really cool position to demonstrate, by the way, the value of material, because if you play this with the black pieces, or if you are sitting on this side of the board, you really feel like you are in charge with black. And the way how the pawn mass is moving forward, excuse me, whether it be e4 followed by b4 or a5 b4, it feels like black has more pawns. Whereas the reality is that black is actually a pawn down. But the dynamic imbalance in the position, this 4 versus 2, and then this 4 versus this 3 just makes it feel like it's a really weird combo where black's position just appears to be really easy to play and very fluid. So anyway, I played rook c8, followed by rook c5, and followed by d5. And according to the engine, this position is about 0.2, which is as good as saying it's dead even. But it's a lot easier to play this for black. And to demonstrate that, check out what happened. Already my IM opponent is down on the clock a fair bit compared to me, right? Which is a testament to how much more difficult it is to play this position with white. I played here e4. The idea is obviously that we want to throw in a timely b4. He played a4. Now, this really did surprise me, because although this move is thematic, but in my opinion, to me it came across as a pass, because I will play whatever. In this case, I played rook c8 in order to make b4 even stronger by threatening rook c2. And so, yeah, if you want to take b5, be my guest. I want to throw this pawn away anyway, right? So they played rook a6, and off we go. And as far as I'm concerned, once again, I can't help but love this for black. And again, note the incredible power of the bishop on the long diagonal. And actually, I will very quickly zip through, so to demonstrate that even here, this bishop is like an octopus. And that is the bishop that started its career like this. Tuk, tuk, tuk. That, friends, is the greatest beauty of the Sveshnikov. This immense potential behind the various pawn breaks that are available for you throughout the game. So first I broke with f5. Then a while later I broke with d5. This is technically not a break, but a move that is usually very difficult to accomplish in the Sveshnikov. Then I played e4. And then ultimately I broke with b4. So we made this to go away, we then made that to go away, and then I played this to even further extend the diagonal of the bishop. Now the reason why I'm pausing here is because I found an absolutely bananas variation here. Or maybe here. Yes! This is... Oh my god, check this out. Apparently, I had d4 here. And speaking of dark squared and dark squared bishop and dark squared strategy, this is gonna blow your socks off. Takes, 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 takes. Rook a5. Rook f2. No. I messed this up. I need rook d8 in this. That's right. Sorry. Rook d8. Rook b5. Now I spoiled the fun. Rook f2. Hello? And the reason why we needed rook d8 is because after king d2 we have e3, queen e3, bishop d4. That's another big win for the dark squared bishop, by the way. But check this line out. I did not want to believe my eyes when I saw this. Rook takes. e3. Now, queen d3 is, even according to the engine, rook takes f7 is a winning attempt for white. Check out how this works out. Winning attempt, yeah? Takes. Check. Now, incredibly enough, king f1 loses to check. And this is mate. Hello? Wow. So bishop d4 check. They have to go here. Bishop f6 or c5, by the way. Doesn't matter. They can't take because of the back rank mate. Only move is bishop d1. And after bishop takes e7, this is likely gonna be a draw. But it's still a royal mess with some potential wins for black because of the power of the d2 pawn. But this variation, when I found this with the engine, I'm like, oh my god. And I came upon this by sheer luck because the engine told me to play d4 here. And I'm like, d4? Really? And then I started analyzing this, and then I realized how incredibly beautiful it was. And here the engine recommended me rook d8. And I'm like, okay, what if I take this? And then I went like, ah, surely I will take and take. Which I can do, by the way. And even this is perfectly fine and balanced in a imbalanced way. Because black is still a pawn down, but definitely black has the more active pieces. So that was level, but hello, rook f2. Wowzers. Yeah, I saw none of this. I went with rook c8. I found this to be very thematic, but it's actually a little bit inaccurate because after takes rook c2, there is queen here with f6 threat. Bishop f5, bishop e5, queen g4, king h8. Yeah, I would be happy to play this actually. Yeah, rook g8 coming, b2 is hanging, this is incoming. I wouldn't mind playing this at all. Okay, that's good news. So the game continued, b4, bishop g4. That was a dirty. Threatening f6, hitting this. Take, take. Take. That was very important to take it like that because that's a tempo. And then I found, whilst I was calculating, this the idea that I thought was the only way to stay afloat, and that was f6. Now this move shuts this down, it disconnects these two, it makes the bishop on e5 a total beast. And at this point, unfortunately, I got really cocky. And I thought that now I'm playing for a win. Whereas objectively speaking, although the position is far easier to play for black, and in fact is better, it's limited advantage. Queen g7, of course, I'm happy to play the endgame because I have got the d passer. And here I saw a motif and I couldn't resist it. It was like a siren song to me, and I just completely lost touch with reality. So what happened here was that I played rook c3. I anticipated queen b6, and here queen c7 would have kept the game in a very rational sort of fashion, or rational path, where after the queen trade, I suppose I have got a slightly better endgame. But like I told you, I got really hooked on an idea, which I already saw before I played rook c3, which was to play here h5. And I thought, oh man, this is genius. They are going to take me here, I'm gonna take them here, and as soon as the bishop moves, I have mate. And the irony is that that is precisely what happened in the game. They played the tempting bishop g6, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Check, check. No, I said check, and mate is incoming on h2. And he was a good enough sport to play it out and allow the mate in the end. But this was actually a tragic mistake on both sides, because rook h3 is a losing move here to rook takes e5. Ouch! The hero bishop. The hero bishop that I dedicated this entire video to is the #1 reason of my downfall. That's it, folks. There is nothing to add. If I take this, check. Oops. Ouchie. Check. And I'm a piece down, and I can call it a night or a day, whatever. Slightly better is if I take here. But again, the check is absolutely devastating. And after king h7, just rook d5, and yeah. White is, yeah, up a pawn, several pawns, rooks hanging, king is weak, rook d7 is on. It's a tragedy. So yeah, this is a good way to demonstrate that even when you are ahead, you shouldn't get too cocky and contented, because tactics are always abound. And that was my hubris here. My dramatic sin is that I assumed that tactics was only allowed for me. And I was so keen on selling this check idea, I completely forgot to check my opponent's tactics. But overall, it was still a delicious win with a few beautiful variations and the reassurance that this line is definitely a very venomous one, this bishop g7 97 idea. And yeah, these very mobile pawn breaks with the two bishops. This variation is a lot of fun. So if you are a Sveshnikov aficionado, I recommend that you give this one a red hot go. And I'm sure that you will not be disappointed. Ladies and gents, this is gonna be it for today. Please don't forget to sub, to like, to thank or super thank me if you can. Please leave a comment. And also please check out the Silman course. You are gonna love it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more soon.